What a doofus.
Could you possibly put together a better celebrity foursome in golf than this one announced yesterday? Here it comes. Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson against Aaron Rodgers and Bryson DeChambeau. Almost as good, that foursome, as Brady's troll about the foursome. Two old guys against the young bucks, he tweeted. Bryson better get used to laying up because we know Rodgers isn't going for it. Then Brady was like, wait, I can do better. He posted this. Two champions versus a scientist and a Jeopardy host. But wait, Brady wasn't done. Packers kicking a field goal down 7. Trash-talking Tom is all fired up. Still wasn't done. He was on fire. Bryson joked about Brady feeling as deflated as the footballs in the AFC Championship after they get beat.
Whoa.
So much going on here, Brandon. But let me ask you, Tom Brady's trolling of Aaron Rodgers ahead of the match, all that trolling is blank.
A lot of great material there, Nick. I think you said he has a ghostwriter for him for social media. Maybe so, because every time he does this, it's genius, it's excellent, it's entertaining. But the last one was the best. Bryson won this. This is poking the bear. Now, Tom Brady came out thinking that he was going to be cute, he was going to be slick, he was going to be entertaining, but then Bryson just, boom, blammo, hit him at the end. Thank you, Wiles, for giving me that. Blammo, talking about deflation. Man, it's one of those things where you get into an argument or you start playing around with one of your boys, you're bantering back and forth, and then all of a sudden, they just hit you in the gut. Deflategate? I know Tom is like, man, dang, maybe I went a little too far. So this is poking the bear, and he was blindsided with Bryson's Twitter rant. Bam, at the end.
Yeah, I'm sure he was very surprised when he woke up from one of the 3 naps he takes a day and sees he's in a Twitter and Instagram war when he doesn't even have his own password. This is stolen valor. Everyone's like, oh, Tom Brady's so funny. Oh, look at Tom Brady memeing the world. Oh, Tom Brady's up on the Brooks Koepka Bryson DeChambeau feud. No, he's not. He's not. He has stolen the valor of the person who's actually funny and witty and good at the internet, who is posting all of this for him. Right now, I am opening my DMs on Twitter. If anyone wants to reach out, I will keep you anonymous and come forward. You are the Tom Brady social media person, and you deserve credit. He is Wilds. I am not here for everyone's like, oh, in addition to being handsome and a 7-time champion, he's so good at the internet. No, he's not. He's paying someone who's good at the internet, and he deserves none of this credit. 0% of the credit. You know how I know Wilds, an actual GOAT, LeBron runs his own Twitter? Because he has a ton of typos. In the tweet we showed earlier, he put asterisks for the word as, like it was a curse word. Like, that's LeBron doing it. Brady memeing is not Brady doing it, Wilds. It's stolen valor.
Quite possibly the worst take this show has ever had. Quite possibly. It might be up there. My DMs are open if you've heard Nick with a worst take. That because LeBron makes mistakes on social media, Tom Brady should fire his excellent social media manager. It's a take. We've gone there.
He shouldn't fire him.
Hey,
he should give him credit.
You know when they... Well, it's the person's job. It's a job, just like anything. In any event. You know, in Las Vegas bets, Nick, they're always like, hey, we're going to buy you out. Like, you know, it's 2 guys left at the poker table, and like, I'll buy you out, and we'll kind of split the pot. The organizers of the match should buy Phil out. Like, Phil, like, you should step aside. We know that we all want to see Brooks versus Bryson. That has risen to, like, a fever pitch, a boil. So Phil shouldn't, it's a lucrative deal for Phil. But say, Phil, you know what? You don't have to play this. We'll buy you out. Here's a free, maybe $1 million. But we need Bryson in here. So, sorry, Phil. Be a ratings bonanza.
That's right. I agree 1,000%.
All right. We get back to last night's action. Utah, where a Ja Morant had himself a night. Ja posting a Grizzlies playoff record 47 points. Somehow, though, not enough as the Jazz won in Donovan Mitchell's return to even that series up at a game apiece. But Brandon, Ja's performance in Game 2 was blank.
Attention grabbing. Nick, I mean, if you do a medal count, I'm sure Ja will probably end up in your top 5. You've been talking about this guy all year. You've been highlighting him. You've been giving him his flowers. But I don't think that's true across the board on different networks, other shows. Like this dude in the play-in game, a do-or-die game, he beat the Warriors, dropped 35. Steph Curry, hot the last 2 months, couldn't miss a shot. And then he follows that up with a Game 1 win over the Jazz, the #1 seeded Jazz. Last night, 47 points. Now, it was a loss, but it's attention-grabbing because we keep talking about Luka. We keep talking about Zion. I know you have given him his flowers, but I don't know if people really respect him and understand how great he is. So it's attention-grabbing for me, Nick.
And for me, Brandon, it's even better than you think. I'm going to give you some names here. How about Steph, Giannis, Jokic, Kawhi, Kyrie, Harden, Luka? What do all those guys have in common? In addition to, they're all going to be all-NBA guys this year. None of them have scored this many points in a playoff game. None of those guys. That's 8 of the 12 best players in the league I just mentioned. John now has more points in a playoff game than any of those guys, and this was only his 2nd career playoff game. It's also the most points ever by a 21-year-old in the playoffs, breaking LeBron's record. So it's actually Wild's better than you think.
So I'm going to say it's a star step. Here's the theory. In order to become a superstar, you need to show out in a playoff game that you eventually lose. Whether it's Jordan and Larry Bird, LeBron when he got swept by Tim Duncan. We saw Jamal Murray lose, play awesome. We saw Donovan Mitchell lose and play awesome. We saw Paul George become a star when he dunked on LeBron and ended up losing. So this is a weird step where you actually like play awesome but lose, and it's sort of a precursor to becoming a superstar, Jenna.
That's interesting. All right. All right, let's press pause. Time for Wild's Weird and Wonderful from the National Pastime. How about Jose Altuve taking Trevor Bauer oh so deep in the first inning yesterday? Stros go on to win 5-2. Pretty wonderful. What is even more wonderful than that, Kevin Wild?
Jenna, we are going with a non-Major League Baseball Weird and Wonderful. First up, Dallas Baptist University first baseman Cole Moore. Look at this catch. Jumps over the fence, doesn't catch it. Guess what? Doesn't matter. Still awesome. Do you know how awesome an effort needs to be when you make a highlight for not catching a foul ball? Well done, Cole Moore. And finally, moving on to the wonderful. Well, the fence is perfect jumping over height, just like the softball play we had the other day. Oh, and now look at this. The Ole Miss baseball team just reinvented high fives.
Okay,
From
that's
now
the best
on,
thing I've ever seen.
All high fives should be inspired by the dunk contest. This has been sitting here all of our lives, and no one's ever took advantage of it besides Ole Miss. So Ole Miss, great job. Next time our show doesn't socially distance, Nick Wright, get ready for my D. Brown high five. Don't know if I'll land it, but I'm going to give it a shot with you.
Legit best thing I've ever seen.
That's great.
This is my new way to say hello. That's so cool. All right, something not so cool. This moment from last night in Philadelphia. You know what, Nick? This 35-year-old will never tear a hamstring. Russ spoke out after he got a bucket of popcorn dumped on him. We'll have his comments next.